Hey all, so today I'm going to talk about the Liberator soul for Rift. Um, Liberator is a healing soul for a warrior, AoE healing, so raid healing, not single target for like tanks. Okay, if you think it is, you're gonna have trouble. But you can heal dungeons if you know what to do. I have a single target macro for healing tanks, but it's very small heals and it's mostly based on HOTS, heals over time, as opposed to my AoE heals that are way more efficient than my single target heals. This is a 61 Liberator spec. Okay, so I do not have actually the I do not have the War Chanter. As you can see, I don't have War Chanter in this list here. I didn't buy it. I don't see the use yet. I don't raid, so it's not like I have the need to heal tanks. But I do have fun with Liberator just because it's so overpowered. It's not even funny, or at least it used to be when I used to heal in raids. Anyway, so for the soul tree, you're going to put 61 points into Liberator if you have it. If you don't, I'm sorry. You can't follow this video if you don't have Liberator. Anyway, so put 61 points into Liberator and then 10 points into Warlord. You're gonna put 5 points into Soldier's Might, increases strength by 10%. Your healing is based on your strength. Believe it or not. You heal with your muscles. And then you put 5 points into Strength of Arms. Because believe it or not, you're healing with your weapon, man. Increases your attack power and weapon damage by 10%. And then 5 points into Champion. You're going to put 5 points into Titan Strength, which increases strength by 10%. And then for your legendaries, I didn't really see the use of putting any points into the legendaries of Champion and Warlord, just because I mean, Sergeant Sorter is a DPS cooldown kind of, and Breaking Blow, like I don't DPS, and I don't need to charge. Yeah, I don't really need to charge. I mean, I could stun, I guess, but I already have a stun. I have two stuns actually. No, this is a snare. But anyways, I do have a stun. I do have a stun here. In any case, whoa, what happened here? Okay, here we go. But you are going to choose Extraordinary Care as your legendary, as your big one. And then, so let's see what the legendary version does. It absorbs 85% of damage up to blah blah and restores blah blah health every 3 seconds for 15 seconds to up to 10 party or raid members near the target. Cooldown is doubled each time this ability is cast within 15 seconds. Um, absorbs 85% of damage up to blah blah blah. Okay, so the legendary version is basically for to up to 10 party or raid members near the target. So near the tank usually, because I usually have the tank selected, targeted I mean. So I usually target the tank and then do my healing to the raid, but I can also help the single target healers if they need my help. So I do have some tank cooldowns, so I just keep the tank targeted at all times as a Liberator just in case. So that's why it's good to target your tank. And then I chose Deliverance as my second legendary. It restores blah blah to blah blah health to up to 10 party or raid members. Cast time is reduced as your health is reduced. This is a very big it's a very good thing, I think. It didn't used to reduce cast time as your health was reduced, so you needed to be on top of your game. And then I chose medical facility. Deliverance and fast release splash 60% of their initial healing in an area around affected targets. So basically, your AoE heal is AoE'd around your targets. Yeah. So, which is very good. So if there's somebody that's like way away from you, the there if but there are people close to that person that you are healing, then your healing to those people close to you is going to splash onto the people way away from you. So that's good. Um, but I mean, you could choose liberation treatment. Let's see what it says. Restores blah de blah health over 16 seconds. Affected targets receive more healing from your non-liberator heals. See, I can't choose that because I don't have non-liberator heals. So that or first aid restores blah de blah to blah de blah health, awards 1 attack point, heals for 3 times as much on targets with more than 75% health. Um, I mean, you could choose this, but then it says like, oh, it heals 3 times better for people over 75% health, and you're like, well, what if they're below 75% health? You know, it's kind of meh. But it would be good for single target healing. So if you have War Chanter and you have Liberator as your off soul, then you would choose first aid, I think, as your legendary. But I mean, it's all a moot point, really. I chose these because they're better for raid healing and they're better for like I don't have War Chanter. So there's that. Um, and then for your mastery, you would choose Resonating Strike. I think. I mean, you could choose whatever. Uh, I don't damage. Da 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 da. Nah. And then this. Um, what is this again? Mass Rescue. Yeah. Um, I mean, you could choose this, but I chose this because of the whole like, oh, if I get attacked, I would get a shield. And then for 62, I chose Physiology to Proficiency. Why? Increases your healing done and absorption granted by 5%. So that's why. That's why you would choose Physiology Proficiency because of your healing done is increased. And then I chose Relentless as my level 63. Reduces the duration of crowd control effects used on you by 10%. And then when casting Soul Redemption, this is Soul Redemption. So, where is it? When casting Soul Redemption, the revived ally has 100% of their health returned and receive 30% less damage for 5 seconds. This is very good. I wouldn't choose Energy Reserves because you never really you don't use a lot of energy as a liberator, which is great because it's like liberator is the equivalent of warden, but without the mana problems. So warden uses a lot of mana, and very often they'll be like at 0 mana because their spec is so mana hungry, whereas liberator just doesn't use that much energy. So that's why I wouldn't choose energy reserves because well, I don't damage enemies, and besides, I don't need that much energy, to be honest. And then gladiator combat training, while in combat, damaging attack point generating abilities apply a stacking. I don't damage, so I don't need this. It wouldn't affect me. And then I could choose runner's training, increases unmounted movement speed by blah de blah. I guess I could, but I mean this is very good for Liberator because when casting Soul Redemption, this is very good. Next, precision strikes. I chose that because of the second point. Increases the duration of damage over time effects, healing over time effects, and bleeds by 6 seconds. So the healing that I do the time is increased, so that's very good. And then I chose power variation just as a oh fuck cooldown for the tank. Whenever like the single target healers don't have like they run out of mana or something. So I can come in and I can swoop in and just like fucking heal the tank to almost full. It's really just a big cooldown for the tank. That's it. I mean, I could use it as a damaging ability, but it doesn't matter to me. I don't need to damage. That's the big problem with this spec is that it does not have very good damage at all. Whereas, you know, for example, purifiers and wardens and even physicians, like the other healing souls in for other classes, they all have very good damage for as healers, especially Chloro. Chloro has amazing damage for a healer. Whereas me as a Liberator, I mean, I can damage, I can damage, but it's not very good damage at all. And I can AoE damage too, woo! But it's very bad damage. So that's why, like, it's when you go in a raid and they ask you to lib, they don't expect you to DPS unless like there's no damage at all. In that case, they might be like, okay, you can damage a bit, but they're not going to expect you to DPS at all. They know that Liberator has no damage. So in any case, in terms of what to do, I have macros for my AoE healing. Let's check it out. Liberator. So I have a macro for my hots, and I also use Kaler to keep track of my heals. So let's see, I have liberation treatment, and I also keep track of mass casualty response. Because mass casualty response, this button here, you need to keep a stack of 3 mass casualty responses. So if you read that little that little, what do you call it? If you read the description of mass casualty response, it says restores bloody blah health over 21 seconds to all party and raid members, requires 1 attack point, and stacks up to 3 times. So yes, you want to stack it 3 times because those are big heals. Most of your healing as a Liberator is going to come from mass casualty response. I'm saying most. I mean, it's not always going to be. Sometimes you're also going to have group assistance as your highest. So it's like it's a fight in the HPS meters. It's a fight between mass casualty response and group assistance. But I mean, this is a very good heal, very good. And I also keep liberation treatment up because. I mean, a lot of people would tell me, like, oh, don't use liberation treatment for your AoE heals. Actually, let me find it. Actually, no, no. Let me find it. No. Would that be it? No, that's ameliorate. No. Redress, no. No. Persecute, no. Healing finishers, no. Critical hits, increases area of effect. Fuck, where is it? Ah, there we go. Liberation treatment affects 3 other party or raid members. I mean, it affects 4 people, so it heals 4 people at a time. So it's in my opinion, it's very good to keep up because it is treated as an AoE heal. If you don't have 3 points into liberation movement, it's going to heal only the tank. So it's only going to heal the one person that you have targeted with it. But with liberation movement, it's basically treated as an AoE heal. So that's why I keep liberation treatment up at all times that I can, anyways, because it's treated as an AoE heal and it heals pretty well. I mean, it's like 60,619 health over 16 seconds. That's good. I mean, you can't just balk at that. I mean, this is 20,629 and it stacks 3 times, so times 3, it's basically 60,000 something, blah blah blah. But I mean, this is also 60,000, so let's not balk at that. I mean, it's a good one. So for my hot, for liberation treatment, I have numbers show liberation treatment, suppress macro failures, and I cast it at self. So why at self? Because I want to heal myself, and because it's going to splash onto other people. So it's basically treated as a splash, and I'm going to heal people around me. And then I have my single target spam, which is on my mouse right now. I have it here, mouse 4. And this is my single target spam. I heal tanks in dungeons with that. It's basically numbers show corrective measures, suppress macro failures, cast at mouse over UI. Why mouse over UI? Because let's say I'm in a raid setting and I have my raid frames here and I need to heal somebody real quick. I would basically just mouse over their UI item, their UI frame. So I would just instead of selecting the person, and it takes a little bit more time to select somebody or to find that person, whatever. So just mouse over UIing makes it easier as a healer. Sometimes it doesn't work, but I mean, those are very rare times. So I have cast at mouse over UI, corrective measures. Cast at mouse over UI, prolonged recovery. Cast at mouse over UI, extraordinary care. Cast at mouse over UI, quick remedy. Cast at mouse over UI, fast relief. And cast at mouse over UI, first aid. A quick note, Liberator is a soul that does not need three attack points to use finishers. So some finishers require only 1 attack point, some finishers require 3. I mean, uh this spam button basically takes care of figuring out if you need 1 or 3 attack points, because there's finishers and there's builders in this macro. So you don't really need to even try to figure out who to target, or not who to target, but how many points to put into your let's see. So fast relief is going to give me an attack point, another attack point, and then I used one finisher, one attack point finisher, one attack point finisher. So you see, I don't need to have 3 attack points at all times to use finishers, because Liberator is one of those souls that really doesn't need 3 attack points. So it's very good. And then I have my AoE. I have numbers show group assistance, suppress macro failures, cast corrective measures, cast deliverance, cast group assistance, and cast mass casualty response. So let's see. I've got 3 attack points right now. I'm going to use my mass casualty response. I need 3. So you see it showed up here, so that means I have my HOTS up. Okay, and then I'm pressing my spam AoE button. And basically, I'm healing. It's great. Woo! The only thing you need to keep track of in Liberator is your 3 stacks here. So make sure that you refresh your stacks before they run out, because refreshing them when they have run out takes 3 seconds, you know? Yeah, or at minimum. And so you need to make sure that you have your stacks refreshed at all times, so that you keep your maximum healing potential up. So for healing, you have many ways to heal. If you need a big heal, you can use Ameliorate. You can Mass Rescue is a shield. So you see, I just shielded myself. And then you have Medical Facility. I will show you what it does. Da-da-da. So it basically splashes around. So other people around you will have that little splash effect. So if there's somebody that's far away from you, but there's somebody that's close enough to that person, like let's say there's somebody standing right here and there's somebody standing way off to the right, well, the person standing closer to you will splash onto that person, which is great. And then you also have Redress. Redress is a damage, what do you call it? Reduces damage taken by 7% and increases healing received by 7%. So it's basically like a big damage reduction buff. And that's basically it. And then you have your single target cleanse, and then your AoE cleanse, and then I have my 3 DPS buttons, and then I can stun. Woo! And that's it, really. That's Liberator for you. Hope you enjoyed. If there's something that's not very clear, let me know. I will try to explain it as best as I can. But in the meantime, enjoy yourself, and I will see you later.